Can any pony take on an Ursa Major head-on? No. No. Not even a royal guard stands a chance against an Ursa. Even a princess would be in trouble facing an Ursa head-on. Against such creatures, fighting is not a bad option, it's just not an option at all. If you want an idea of the difference in strength, the royal guards are ponies. Mostly ponies. About 1.15 m high, or 3 ft 9 inches, just like any pony. In comparison, an Ursa Minor is about 13 to 15 meters long, so about 45 feet, and about the same in height. Yeah, you heard me right. That's the Ursa Minor. The Ursa Major would be around 70-80 meters when sitting like that, so around 250 feet. But if one royal guard wouldn't be able to defeat an Ursa, maybe two would. Honestly, not a chance either. But what about 3, 5, 10 guards? How many royal guards do you need to defeat an Ursa Major? Today we'll find an answer to this question using the rules of Tales of Equestria. The royal guards might be the size of a pony, but they're not exactly your average ponies. They have their training, and in more ways than one. They have increased physical abilities compared to a normal pony. They know how to guard, obviously, but that doesn't apply if they are just fighting the Ursa with nothing to protect. And, most importantly, they know how to fight together. When the royal guards fight or guard something together, their physical abilities and their guarding talent are upgraded. And then there is the race talent. If they're a nurse pony, Stout Heart. If they're a unicorn, Telekinesis. If they're a Pegasus, Fly. Telekinesis and Fly won't be of much use in this fight, but Stout Heart might. Once during the fight, each Ursa pony guard can add a d6 to their roll. Now, according to this research, Equestria has 60% Ursa ponies, 20% unicorns, and 20% Pegasi. So we'll keep this ratio for the royal guards. On the other side of the ring is the Ursa. The Ursa is big, solid, and beastly. Let's start with the Ursa Minor, the baby. The Ursa Minor has much more stamina than even the princesses, and hits hard. Rolling 1d20 for an action is already the stuff of legends, and very few characters can do that. For everything involving its body, the Ursa Minor rolls 3d20s and keeps the best one. That's for the traits. Now, the talents. The Ursa is a ferocious fighter. It has 3d20s for everything physical. When it's fighting, it adds a 4th one. It also has a thick skin. If by some sort of miracle you can beat these 4d20s and hit the Ursa, every damage from a physical source is reduced by 3, which is almost every damage you can do, aside from magical and emotional damage. Fortunately, you still do 1 damage at least. That's the portrait. Every physical damage is reduced by 3, and you have to face 4d20s each time you want to hit it. So, if you ever encounter an Ursa Minor and you think it's a good idea to face it head-on, think again. And again. And again. And again until you change your mind. Oh, and in case you forgot, that's the baby. Now let's talk about the Ursa Major. Oh, it's about the same as the Ursa Minor, with the talents being Ferocious Fighter to add an extra d20 in combat, and Thick Skin. There are just 2 small differences. Its body trait is 5d20, not just 3, so that's also 40 more stamina, bringing up the total to 108, more than twice what Princess Celestia has. Oh yeah, and the Thick Skin. It was reducing damage by 3 with the Ursa Minor, right? With the Ursa Major, it's 6. Oh, and do you remember when I said you still do 1 damage at least? If you don't remember, well, that's okay, because you can forget about it. If you do 6 damage or less, the total becomes a good old 0. That's for presenting the fighters. Now, how would a fight unfold? A head-on fight between Royal Guards and an Ursa would be pretty simple, with every combat round the same. Guards fight, Ursa fights back. And on every round, one of the Earth Pony Guards is going to try to improve their roll with Stout Heart. Simple. And easy to automate following the rules of many vs 1 combat in Tales of Equestria. If you don't remember exactly how it works, I have a video reminder in the description. And when you run the simulations, you get probabilities. Depending on dice rolls, sometimes the guards win, sometimes the Ursa wins. And with 24 guards working together against an Ursa Minor, the odds are about even. With 34 guards working together, they have more than a 90% chance of defeating the Ursa Minor. So yeah, you basically need an entire platoon of Royal Guards to deal with an Ursa Minor. And with the Ursa Major, obviously, it's worse. You need 45 guards to just even the odds, and 57 to have a 90% victory probability. But that's for the situation where the guards are attacking the Ursa. What if the guards are just defending, say Canterlot or Ponyville, from the Ursa? Or more precisely, guarding it. And in this case, you would need fewer guards. Yeah, like 2 or 3 fewer guards. So, to stand a chance against an Ursa Minor, you would need a troop of at least 24 Royal Guards, and 45 to face an Ursa Major. And if you cannot afford to lose, well, you better bring 10 more guards at least. Goodbye.